Hello, folks. I'm Dr. Ryan J. Cox. Welcome to our test balloon. This is our first attempt at offering you original video content, and if it's something that works, we'll be giving you more. Please bear with us as we work out technical issues. This is being recorded on my iPhone in front of my computer monitor, held in place by a pen and a couple books. So as we figure out how to actually shoot this stuff, quality will go up. Um, so, uh, Today I want to respond to the news that a school board in North Carolina banned Ralph Ellison's novel Invisible Man. The official complaint was that the book is unfit for high school students based on content, that it's obscene. It isn't. One of the board members who banned the book, however, claimed that he could find no literary merit or value in the novel. This is problematic. Invisible Man is without a doubt a hard book, with a tendency to make the reader uncomfortable. Considering its subject matter, this seems reasonable. Ellison is writing about the violence, alienation, dehumanization, and absurdity of American constructions of race in the mid-20th century. And a cursory knowledge of history would suggest that this is challenging subject matter. The other major texts that come out at the same time dealing with this subject matter, Richard Wright's Native Son, Langston Hughes's Montage of a Dream Deferred, and even Allen Ginsberg's America, are similarly challenging, both intellectually and emotionally. Ellison's novel doesn't make you feel good. It is not a transcendent experience of sublime beauty, or an attempt to explain the ways of God to man, though I would suspect the poem that derives from isn't either. It's about Cromwell. It is the exposure of a wound as a dark, ironic joke. Literary value is a hard thing to pin down. It has been read as the esoteric quality of greatness, some aesthetic thing that elevates it above the common and the trash. There have been attempts to reduce it to the objective and the formal. Wow, is that a good rhyme scheme? I'm looking at you, Claude McKay. There have been attempts to appeal to historicity and representation, and there have been attempts to express literary values in terms of both cult value, as Benjamin identifies historically, and exchange value. Invisible Man scores on all those points. It is important historically, formally, aesthetically. Ellison's image of the 10 drops of black formula into the white paint in order to make it as white as possible, optic white, is, in my opinion, one of the definitive images of American constructions of race, and aesthetically on par with the quote-unquote best of American fiction. It is as moving, if not a more moving image than Fitzgerald's Green Light. It has been Ellison's novel has been hailed as a classic since its publication, and it remains one of the most widely taught American novels. This speaks to how I view literary value. A text's usefulness, its use value. Those who teach Invisible Man find it incredibly useful because it captures all those things that make it a hard book. It is race and violence and sex. This, I think, is at the root of its dismissal from Randolph County, North Carolina schools. It is a hard book. It's a frustrating book. It forces the reader to confront uncomfortable questions by showing the reader uncomfortable things. There is no ideology or belief system that are safe from the book's critique, not on the left nor on the right. It contains sex, violence, incest, and exploitation, and as a result, it is hard. It is a hard book. It is a challenging book to read. It is long and dense and highly symbolic. It is a hard book. There is a tendency to shy away from challenging texts or to assume that because they are difficult, you as a reader can't interact with them. But the challenging texts are the ones that are the most rewarding because they teach us about more than we want them to. They are incapable of simply reinforcing the status quo and making us feel good about ourselves. You don't get that good, warm feeling from Invisible Man. And a hard text like Invisible Man requires the participation of the reader. The discomfort of this may have led that school board to ban a novel that the headlines have been calling classic and legendary. And if reports are to be believed, they may have done so without cracking the spine of the novel. I don't teach Invisible Man. I prefer Native Son because it fits better with other texts I want to use to question constructions of black masculinity. Things like the film Superfly, the Stagger Lee narratives, and the Wu-Tang Clan. But to think that it will be suppressed for lacking literary value is offensive. We need a little discomfort in our reading. Maybe even a little obscenity. Obscenity's fun. You remember obscenity. So that when we can grow as a culture, even that which should be consigned to the trash bin of history, as a former MP referred to the work of poet Bill Bissett, says a great deal about us. But we have to choose to make use of it, and we can't suppress it. All right, thank you very much. Hopefully you like this, and we'll do this again.